Hi, welcome. I'm Priscilla Batzell. This is Expressionist Fluid Art Studio Gallery's demonstrations and tutorials. Let's have some fun. So I really thought that I was going to draw some marks on this canvas and create some areas that would be box-like or brick-like. But I think the way I'm going to start is just to add colors that I like and going back in later and see if I can refine them. This is water lily. And I'm just going to give myself some stripes, some small stripes. And I'm going to try and think about what I might want later on. I did coat this canvas with some Artist Loft and let it dry. I might have to fast forward through this part because there's going to be a lot of colors. Deco Art 24 karat gold. So long as I don't deviate from the vertical, I should be fine. Or drag the bottle shoulder in, which is something I'm capable of doing easily enough. I want to use some black. Is it time yet? Probably not. I'll just stick with the original plan. I've got blue velvet. And I will make up my mind where my box shapes and what kind of organization they'll have later, I guess. The dashes don't matter. I'm being called to some pink diamond, which I hope I don't have to shake too hard. It's not very dissimilar from the water lily. Slightly lighter, brighter, similar family though. I like this Nebula star, which is a primary element, and I hope it's, yep, it's flowing okay. I'm going to want some green. I can tell. I want to keep the colors sort of in the same family to begin with, for the most part, which I've already broken by using the Nebula star, but that's so I can swipe through things. I'm also thinking there's a very good chance, because I painted the white canvas white, I wanted to be able to scrape down to white to expose some white, if that makes sense. And I've got indigo teal also. I'm thinking of just keeping on going for right now. And whatever I get is what I get to begin with. I'll worry about green and orange later, because those are colors that will, in my opinion at least, create an issue for me. Oh cool, my Rhapsody Rose is open. I want some of these colors out of the way now so I can do something. I'm really inclined to add a little tiny bit of dazzling white just to push the envelope and make things cover. But what I've got in my hand is frozen and a speck that I do not want in there that came off the wrapper. I used to think I needed these press and seal labels on bottles, but the truth is you can use a Sharpie and write right on your bottle. And if you want to change it, you just use alcohol. It'll take it right off. I could probably have done this with dots, I think. But I learn something new every time I try a process in a different way. And I'm trying to think of what I might want. I haven't used any ginger flower for a long time. And I really like ginger flower. and it's in a similar family. So let's see what we can get, if anything. Come on out. Down you come. Come on, come on, come on, come on. They look similar at this stage, but I suspect they'll show themselves to be different as time goes on. At least we can hope so. It doesn't matter what the background is. I can always paint over it. I've done so before. I'll do so again. Oh, I want the tickled pink, but I'm going to wait on it. Am I? Am I going to wait on it? No, I'm not. I'm not going to wait on the tickled pink. Perfect. Let's make sure it's nice and juicy for all these lines. And maybe whatever the first layer of background is won't have anything to do with what happens afterwards. We shall see together. I kind of like those marks. I'll never get to keep them unless I decided to do a painting just like that. That is not this painting. Alright, so I could use a rubber brush, but I think what's going to happen instead is I'm going to use what I'm used to the most, is this OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula, best paint spreading tool I know of. And I still want some black, but I'm going to wait on that. Okay, I'm going to try and go vertically. I'm going to move to random locations. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my boxes by accident as I go along and fill in later. That's kind of working. So far, so good. I wasn't sure how I was going to go at this anyway. I want some more of that teal. I like it a lot. Get filaments stuck to the front of my spatula that dry on. I don't see them, and then they come off in the painting, so you have to be aware of that. Now if I let this dry, then I can use orange without any interruption. But right at the moment I'm kind of still having fun doing what I'm doing, creating the little breaks as I go along. And other than the paint staining the canvas, it should make it a lot easier, that since I put a background in, to scrape away, but I'm not seeing that right now. And I still want orange. I'm craving orange terribly. But I'm not hating what I've got so far either. I do keep cleaning off my spatula, which is okay. Right on the painting, because the colors have mixed quite nicely. And it's a risk. If the thinner the colors are, when I swipe them down, the faster they'll dry, and the less likely they are to mix with the orange or whatever I'm going to put in there that could be a problem. I am going to wipe that off. I do have a damp sponge. Doesn't look a lot like a sponge anymore, but it's a damp sponge. Alright, I don't have a lot of orange crush left, but I'm really inclined to want to use it. And it sounds like it's willing to come out. And I'm going to put it in the areas that seem like a block, like that. So this will be the dominant orange. 3 zones so far over here. And in theory, I don't know, we'll see. In theory I should be able to pick up paint, put it down elsewhere, and share it with the next zone. Didn't use any Dancing Fuchsia yet. I'm thinking I want to. So far I haven't had any bad color mixes till then. Jinxed myself. I've got a little African Violet. I'm not going to know how this goes. I don't know if I'll be able to save any white. I really don't. I'm craving turquoise next. By putting the dots down of paint, then at least I can see where I need to go. I haven't mixed 2 colors yet, but I'm inclined to think I might want to. I'm going to try and get the rest of the color off my spatula, because I have so little orange left, I might as well not waste any. So turquoise, maybe so. Maybe turquoise now. It's going to be more white than usual. So I have a choice between Cerulean Sea, which is pretty, and Vibrant Aqua, which I have more of than Cyan Aqua. I also have Mystique. Yeah, I think we'll try that, as long as it'll come out. It sounds like it might be willing. I'm going to put it where it doesn't interrupt anything else, hopefully. At least might make my attempt. Still want black. I want something down here. I'm not sure what though. Maybe more tickled pink. Or red violet. I love red violet. Let's have a little red violet. And I'm not done with the turquoise by any long shot. And when I have extra paint on my spatula, and a place like the last one that I hit over here has plenty of room for color, I'll put some on. So far so good. The theory is be fearless and come back and fix it later. And I'm almost ready for some Dancing Fuchsia. I need something in here first though. I'm going to try the Cerulean Sea. And I might like it enough to try it a few other places. That's 2. This center zone has been like, what are you going to put there that isn't going to scare you? Yes, even I get a little bit trepidatious. And that orange was dry enough to not be a problem. That's nice. I do want tickled pink, or I said Dancing Fuchsia, so that's what we'll do. Just looking for empty spots that need color. I might miss the occasional one. I don't mind repeating colors sometimes because I can always layer colors over them. That reminds me of using the... I should put my bottles away. Because 18 by 24 inch canvases, if I didn't say it's an 18 by 24 inch canvas, they take up a lot of space. So if I go up in the opposite direction, that might change the whole attitude of things. I'm feeling like Midnight Shadow is a possibility coming right up. I really didn't know how this was going to go, but it doesn't really look like what I was imagining anyway. But in my opinion, that's a good place to start. That was kind of different. As per usual, the Dancing Fuchsia takes over. Might want a little more orange. I think it looks good. I still want black, but I'm not sure how that's going to go yet. There's every possibility that I'd be wise to just stop. But I think instead of stopping and being wise, I'm probably going to use some Midnight Shadow and maybe a little Blue Velvet with it. Because I like the idea of adding some darks that aren't black. And I'm going to clean off my spatula so I can continue to use that. I know you can't see the whole painting, but I think you've got the gist. And I still want some green. And I've got Sour Apple or Fandango. Alright, so I actually really like what I've got. But I want to add a few more colors here and there. I may need to swivel my canvas around. A little more Orange Crush. I thought about it and I want to add some Yellow Orange. And I might do those two things together, and I might do the Sour Apple nearby. This is, I believe this is Tuscan Sun, but anything, any yellow, any serious yellow with some orange in it. Just to take the edge off the acidity. Now if I just use yellow, I could always put the green nearby. And I might do that. I don't think it'll hurt if I try it in a few places. And of course, putting in some green alone is not a bad idea either. I really like the white that's showing through now. I might have to do just the green or the yellow and green first. And come back. Hopefully I can do that. I'll keep my spare, my residuals handy. It's not shooting for perfection by any stretch. I'm not sure about the yellow, but it can always be covered. And I might like it after it's done. more than I like it in between. Trying to keep an eye on places that would receive additional paint happily, and also to catch all the places I've put paint down. I've been thinking about the black and I'm not sure. Because I really like what I've got. But by the same token, a little bit couldn't be a really horrible thing. We'll see how I feel about it in a minute. I also felt the same way about gold. But I haven't used the Midnight Shadow yet, and I want to. Right along with some more Blue Velvet. And that might be getting really close to being done. I'm loving the Blue Velvet. I think it looks gorgeous. I might want to go down from the top. Not in any super significant way, but just a little. We'll see how I feel about it. I've still got paint on my spatula, which I'm going to get rid of because I don't want to put the orange and the yellow with the blue right now. It's funny, I thought I was going to go in the opposite direction. I really love the having had the white to begin with. And I could get out my nail art tool. I want to go in the opposite direction. And that right there is why I put my bottles away more often than not. Which way? Up or down? I guess up. Probably up and then down. Lines and dots. So someplace I'm missing something. Maybe right there. It's nice to start with a general idea and then not hold yourself to it, because this is nothing like what I had in mind, but I like it, so I don't care. I'm hearing the call to some tickled pink again. And I'd kind of like some gold. But it's better to decide that I'm done at some point in time before I ruin it, which is always a fear. So let's do the tickled pink and the gold anyway. And then I like how that was gold there and there. It runs, it's coming out so fast. Come on, stop dripping. I don't suppose it really makes a difference, to tell you the truth. I like the idea of some gold shining as the last step. And the tickled pink doesn't bother me either because it's so nice and bright. And I think that's when I'm going to be done. Maybe I'll never put any black in at all. But I'll definitely put some more tickled pink where I think it should be. That was a paint chip. I thought it was a paint chip. Really like the colors. And if I decide tomorrow that it would benefit from maybe some dazzling white or some black, I can always change my mind and do that. But right now I'm pretty happy. There was a spot I wanted to try some white. And I don't think it's going to hurt anything to try it. But I do have some pretty blue on my spatula still, which I need to get off before I work on the next set. The white doesn't really show up. I don't want to keep that blue, so I'll just scrape that away. That's kind of cool. Maybe if I'm super delicate. I think there's just enough white left. I'm going to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Like this splooge of gold. I think that's it. Everything but the scribblings. Oh, I found a couple places. I still want the black. And I want to fix that blue in the center. It's bugging me. And I think I'm going to help it along a little bit by adding a little bit more vibrant aqua. I like those little squares that I added by accident at the end that I didn't realize were going to be squares until I saw them. Do I dare? Do I want to? I definitely want to. So where can I do it that it's not significant? Let's try a little dot down there. You know what? I'm going to use a specialized tool. That's a little silicone brush. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I figure if I count 11, 12, I might not lose track. 13, 14. I do want them sort of... Oh, and I missed some pink. Wow. Okay. Let's take care of the pink before we do the black. I like that. I'm going to try and use my residuals too. And hopefully my nail art tool is handy because I think I'm going to want that. Let's see will I have a chance to do wet and wet. I like it. Hi, this is Priscilla. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you come again. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment, please. Also, if you'd like to become a member, you will help support the studio in the best way possible, and I really appreciate that. I love you guys. You inspire me always. Bye for now. Priscilla out.